Hello, and today I'm going to teach you about one way to solve problems involving elapsed time. Now, elapsed time is the amount of time that has passed, or the amount of time between the starting and the stopping point. For example, if your favorite TV show started at 9 o'clock a.m., okay, and it ended 9:30 a.m., the elapsed time would be the amount of time between the starting and the stopping point, the amount of time between the 9 and the 9:30, okay? It's the amount of time between. That's the elapsed time. And I'm going to show you one method of doing that, okay? And I call this method the T-chart, okay? You're going to be using a chart that basically looks like a lowercase t for time. And I'm going to show you how to use this step by step to solve elapsed time problems, okay? So let's do an example. Let's say you had a meeting, okay, like a club meeting that started at 9 o'clock, okay, a.m., right? And this club meeting ended let's say 11:35 a.m., alright? That's when it ended. You want to know how long your club meeting was, okay? So I'm going to show you how to use the T-chart to solve this problem. So the first step is to write the starting time, okay, which was 9 a.m. We're going to write the starting time up here in the upper left corner. So here we go. Oopsies. 9 a.m., alright? Make sure you use your labels so you don't get confused between AM and PM. It's important, the labels. Okay? And now this part is the next part is it's the longest part, and it's a little bit tricky, but once you get used to it, it'll be pretty easy. So here we have 9 a.m. We're going to start adding hours and minutes, okay? Let me show you what I mean. We're going to keep adding hours and minutes until we get to this stopping time right here, okay? So let me show you. Let's start by adding an hour. So we'll put plus 1 hour. This HR here stands for hour. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this 9 a.m., 9 o'clock a.m., and add 1 hour to it, okay? So 1 hour after 9 a.m. would be 10 a.m., okay? 10 o'clock, all right, a.m., right? Because we're adding 1 hour here to this hour section. So we have, now it's 10 o'clock. Let me write that in red, okay? 10 o'clock a.m., all right? Alright, and now we're going to keep doing this, adding hours and minutes until we get to the stopping time. Alright, so we've added 1 hour. Let's see if we can add another hour. Okay, so 1 plus 1 hour. So now we have 10 a.m. We're going to add 1 hour to that, so that's 11 a.m. Okay, so let's get the red. And we have 11 a.m. now. Okay, now before we add another hour, let's think. Could we add another hour if we wanted to? I don't think we could, because if we added another hour, it'd go to 12, okay? 12 p.m., right, because it's noon. So that wouldn't work. That's past the stopping time, so we won't be able to add another hour. So now we have to start adding minutes, okay? I'll do the minutes in green, so they're separate from the hours. Now, let's look at here. So here we have 11 a.m., right? That's the latest time we have, and 11:35 a.m. is when is the stopping time. Now look, since we're at the whole hour at the o'clock, at the 11 o'clock, we can easily see just by adding 35, right? Because if we add 35, the 5 plus the 0 and the 3 plus the 0, that easily equals 11:35. So we can see that there's a 35-minute difference, right? Because this is the minute section right here. That we can see that there's a 35-minute difference between the 11 a.m. and the 11:35 a.m. Okay? So all we have to do is add the 35 minutes, all right? So add 35 minutes. Okay, and the MIN stands for minutes. So plus 35 minutes, and now we know that this equals, here's the red, 11:35 a.m. Okay, now we're at the last step. Okay, remember, we're not done yet. We made it to the ending time, right? But remember, we want to find the elapsed time, the amount of time between this 9 and the 11:35. Okay, so we have to add up all these hours, because this is the time between, right? By adding the hours and the 35 minutes, we found the time in between. Now we just have to add it up and simplify it. Okay. So let's start with the minutes, okay? Because that's on the right-hand side, and like in regular adding, you usually start on the right-hand side. So here we have minutes, we only have the 35 minutes, so that's it. So we can just write the 35. There's nothing to add to that. So 35 minutes, and now we can go to the hours. Okay, so we have 2 hours total. So we have 2 hours and 35 minutes. The elapsed time between 9 a.m. and 11:35 a.m. is 2 hours and 35 minutes. Okay, let's try another example. Okay, let's get rid of this, and we'll get rid of that. Okay, let's try another example. Let's redraw the T-chart. Okay, here's our lowercase t. And let's think of another example. Let's say we were watching a movie, okay? And this movie started at 7:25, okay, 7:25 p.m. and it ended 9:30 p.m., okay? Alright, so we want to find out how long the movie was, so we know how long we were watching it. So first step is to write the starting time, okay? Write the starting time over here in the upper left hand corner. So 7:25 p.m. All right. Now we're going to start adding the time. All right. So let's start. Well, I like starting with the biggest unit. Start with the hour. Okay. So let's add 1 hour. Okay. Plus 1 hour. So 7:25 plus 1 hour is going to be 8:25. All right. Because we're adding 1 here to the hour section. So it's going to be 8:25 p.m. of course. Alright, now let's draw a line. So we have our next section. And it looks like we might be able to add another hour. So let's add 1 more hour. Or maybe it'll be 1 more. Maybe we can add another one after. So plus 1 hour. So we have 8:25 plus 1 hour. That equals 9:25. Alright, so here we have 9:25 p.m. Okay. Now, I don't think we're going to be able to add another hour because look, okay, look, we have 9:25 here and 9:30 here. That's our ending time, right? Now, the thing is, there's a 5-minute difference between 9:30 and 9:25, right? Because if you add 5 minutes to 25, you're going to get 30, right? So all we have to do now is add 5 minutes, okay? We're not another hour, just 5 minutes because there's a 5-minute difference between 9:25 and 9:30. So plus 5 minutes, okay? And that is going to get us to our ending time, which is 9:30 p.m., okay? So now we're at the last step. Now we just got to add up the time. We've add up all the time, all right? So here, there we go. So again, we're going to start from the right-hand side, the minutes section. So we're going to add up the minutes first. Since there's only this 5 minutes, we can only put this 5 minutes. We don't have to add up anything for the minutes, okay? And here we have 2 hours. So we can write this 2 hours here at the bottom. So the elapsed time between 7:25 and 9:30 is 2 hours and 5 minutes. So the movie was 2 hours and 5 minutes long. Now, so I hope you got that. And I want to show you something really fast, one more thing that's really cool about this T-chart and why I like using it. The T-chart doesn't only have to be used for time. It can be used for other kinds of problem too, like money, for example. Alright, here, let me draw a T-chart. Okay, here we have the money. So let's say we wanted to find out how much money, let's say we had $3.20, okay? And we wanted to get to $5.30, okay? For example, something cost $3.20, but I paid $5.30. I want to find out how much money is in between so I know how much change I can get back. Alright, so you can do kind of the same thing. You can add $1 here, add $1, okay? And then write the total here. So it'd be like $4.20, you know, and you keep going, you know. Keep going until you get to this total, and then add it up, and you'll get how much change you're going to need. So that's another cool thing about the T-chart.